What is up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Boleros, our third episode this week. And it's just me, Gab, with Maui Up. And we're gonna cover, have you seen in the title, the amazing win by Gilas Pilipinas over Latvia. Number 6 in the world, Latvia. Just incredible. We wanted to record at 2 a.m. We just didn't have the energy anymore. I didn't have the energy anymore. As you know, I had just recorded the Jonel Policarpio episode a few hours before that. There's another shocking thing that happened, and I really needed to sleep. I really needed to sleep. So this will be our delayed reactions to the Gilas game over Latvia. But before that, this episode is brought to you by Cotton Club Underwear and NYC Underwear. Cotton Club Underwear. I love it here. As you know, Sando is life. And get your Sandos from Cotton Club Underwear and NYC Underwear. All right. Let's get to it. Maui, your delayed reactions. It's been a few hours. we just slept, but it's been a few hours since Gilas had that stunning win. Your reactions?
What a win! LFG. Diba? What a win by Gilas Pilipinas. I don't think anybody expected this to happen. This is the first time in 64 years that the Philippines has beaten any European team, diba? Imagine if we do that again today.
Really? It's been that long? 64?
It's been that long. 6 decades plus and plus, diba? Imagine if we also pull that upset against Georgia later. But anyway, versus Latvia, what a start by Gilas Pilipinas. I think that was they really set the tone right from the get-go. They led, I think, 39 minutes the whole game, basically, with the first basket by Junmar Fajardo. I think Gilas Pilipinas really had a great preparation for this game. I think they manhandled Latvia in the inside. This is probably the first time we've seen Gilas really show yung might nila in terms of height. Playing with a very big lineup, that three-headed monster of...
It's not every day, Maui, na masasabi mo na may height advantage ang Pilipinas. Diba?
Yeah, it's not every day we can say that. Diba? I was a bit skeptical when I saw this type of lineup. How will we defend Latvia's three-point shooting? Diba? Gilas played Junmar Fajardo at the power forward slot and maybe Kai Soto at the center slot. Interchangeable. But right from the get-go, it was really magic. It was a masterclass of the triangle offense. Grabe yung passing, grabe yung slashing. What a preparation by Coach Tim Cone. If this is the type of coach that we will get, then maybe really Coach Tim talaga is the right person to lead us, diba? They had practically just a few months of practice. And it seems like, especially the starting lineup, it seems like everything is humming at the right time, diba? I think the game against Poland really showed us that we can hang with the top teams in the European region. And this was a further testament that we are capable of being able to hang and close out games. Diba? Kasi before, during the previous iteration of Gilas, we had a lot of very close games but we never expected to close them out. Diba? So I was very nervous until the end. Even when Pilipinas was up by 9, I think by 30 seconds left, I was still very nervous that we would lose the lead. But happily and at the end of the day, we were able to close out the game. Justin Brownlee was spectacular, especially during the first and fourth quarter.
Amazing, JB. We should build him a statue. My goodness.
Michael Jordan of the Philippines daw, as a lot of Filipinos are saying. But he was very spectacular, I think, the first and fourth quarter specifically, setting the tone right and closing out the win for Philippines. But si Kai Soto was really impressive yesterday. I can't believe he was able to survive playing at the 4 slot, guarding in the perimeter, slashing, creating his own shot, getting that alley-oop dunk from CJ Perez. What a game by Kai Soto. I think this really will open a lot of doors. Imagine if he had he has a good game later against Georgia. This could open a lot of doors for Kai Soto. I think, to be honest, the best thing that happened to Kai Soto is probably Coach Tim Cone. Diba? Kasi when Tim Cone started coaching Gilas, that's when we started seeing yung potential ni Kai Soto being utilized the right way. That's when we started seeing him break out. Even after Gilas, he was breaking out for Japan, diba? During the B-League season. We all thought it was because of the point guard. We all thought that probably it was a fluke because it was against Asians. But man, what a game last night by Kai Soto. This showed yung potential.
Triangle offense, Maui. He's perfect for that system because you need a post threat, diba, in the triangle offense. And Kai Soto is perfect. Good points. Okay, go ahead.
Tsaka yung passing ni Kai Soto, Gab, I think is showcased also when he's playing the triangle offense. Yung high-low plays nila ni Junmar Fajardo yesterday was very impressive. Them finding yung cutters was also impressive. Another player I want to say, si Dwight Ramos is always stable. So another player that I have to call out is Chris Newsome. Diba? Everybody doubted that we don't have a point guard, we don't have Scotty Thompson. What a game by Chris Newsome on both ends of the floor, diba? The defense, the hustle, and I think yung setting that offense up, he really did a good job. I really thought that he played a lot better than CJ Perez. You can really see yung drop off ng offense natin when Chris Newsome was not on the floor. Grabe, what a win. I can't imagine what our players are feeling right now. I hope they haven't lost yung spark and yung energy for later during the game. Gab, what are your initial reactions to the win? What a win. I'm still speechless, to be honest. It's been 8 hours, diba? It's crazy.
Oh. Actually, Maui, if we had recorded at 2 o'clock in the morning, I probably would not have said much. Because I was tired and because I was really just speechless. We beat Latvia! We beat Latvia. This team was in the quarter. Was it? Yeah, they were in the quarterfinals of the FIBA World Cup. They surprised everyone. They have NBA level talent in Davis Bertans, Rodion Skurucs, and we beat them. We beat them convincingly, I might add.
Yeah, convincingly, di ba?
Convincing. We were up by as much as 21 points, Maui.
I think more than that. Parang may 24 or 26 points pa. It's crazy.
Yeah. So, my initial reactions was one, you pointed it out. I was surprised that Coach Tim Cone went with the Junmar Fajardo Kai Soto front line. When they did this against the Taiwan Mustangs, I was kind of worried. Same as you. Latvia plays fast. They play small. They like to spread it out. So, in my head, playing two bigs who are not as light-footed, were not quick, will probably not be a good matchup against Latvia. And I was even more surprised that in their exhibition games against Turkey and Poland, they kept this same front court, Junmar and Kai Soto. I'm like, oh, mukhang Coach Tim Cone is going that direction. Because there are two schools of thought, diba, Maui? One is, you beat Latvia at their own game, which is play fast, shoot a lot of threes, do a lot of pick and roll, or you could play a different style and take advantage of their weakness, or play your own game, take advantage of your size. Let's see how long those two bigs can last on the floor. And to start that game, Maui, you said Gilas imposed their size. When can you say that phrase that Gilas imposed their size on any team, especially a European team? We're usually outmatched in terms of size, diba? But this time we had the size advantage, and tama ka, Maui, that Junmar Kai Soto connection, they've been working on it. They've been working on it, and it showed. I think the first basket was Kai Soto getting it in the post and then dumping it off to Junmar Fajardo for an easy basket underneath. And I was like, okay, so they're doing this. They're going in the paint. They're gonna take advantage of the lack of size for Latvia. So I was happy that they kept on doing that. And yung Coach Timko said, we're not gonna play Latvia's game. We're gonna play our game. May halong swerte. I'm gonna admit that. Diba? Maui, I think lahat ng Gilas fans who
23% shooting by Latvia, diba, sa 3. I think what they showed during the Georgia game, they're really all knockdown shooters. We're lucky. We're still lucky.
Yes, actually. May halong swerte. Latvia had a ton of wide open looks. I would say they had a ton of wide open looks, especially in the first half. They just couldn't hit them. And I was saying, but you're scared eh. My reaction was like, okay, siniswerte tayo, Latvia's missing. But at some point, shooters shoot, and shooters will eventually hit their shots, especially if they're getting so many good looks at the basket.
Yep.
And in the second half, they started hitting some shots, and I was really scared, Maui, kasi nabubuhayan yung crowd eh. Yun yung isa pang yung nakakatakot sa game.
Latvia's home.
Yeah.
Diba?
Latvia is on their home court. They're playing in front of thousands of fans, and as soon as they hit a couple of threes, especially in that second quarter, nakita mo na eh, even the commentators were like, now the place is alive. Gilas Pilipinas could not afford to get the crowd into it because they're all of them are for Latvia, and that spurs energy for the Latvian team. And you saw that you with the run in the second quarter.
Yeah.
No, diba? So another reaction is also the defense. I thought the defense, especially, we have to give the crowns to the first 5. They carried this team. That first 5 of Chris Newsom, Dwight Ramos, Justin Brownlee, Kai, and Junmar carried this team. Latvia had subbed out, I think, 3 or 4 of their guys already by the middle of the first quarter. Coach Tim Cone had not subbed out any of the first 5 until a minute or a minute and a half left in the first quarter. And I was worried. I've seen Junmar get tired. I've seen Justin Brownlee get tired. And I'm kind of worried na if Coach Tim Cone continues to ride them for such an extended period of time, baka maubusan. Diba? We've seen this. We've seen multiple games in the past na naubusan. Naubusan si Justin Brownlee. So I was really worried na baka maubusan. And I was additionally worried when the bench came in. That's one of the things perhaps we'll go to later. The bench was just terrible. Nagkakalat sila lahat. Well, I don't think we had anyone from the bench that actually had a decent time on the court. Maybe si CJ Perez who hit a couple of threes, but sabi mo nga, Maui, we felt the absence of Scottie Thompson because CJ Perez, as much as he's being thrust into that role, he's not a point guard. And he's being tasked to be the backup point guard because if you look at this lineup, there's only 3 guards on this lineup. There's just Scott, there's just Dwight, there's Chris Newsom, and CJ Perez. And we felt that absence of another guard, especially a point guard, because the drop-off, as you said, was pretty clear. Ang laki ng drop-off from Chris Newsom down to CJ Perez because he's not really a point guard. He's more of a shooting guard. And I think Latvia brought the energy as soon as they got gut punched. As soon as nag-first punch ang Gilas Pilipinas, I think we were up by 10 already when the first timeout came from Latvia. And you could see, ewan ko, nakita mo to, sinisigawan sila nung coach nila. Well, the Latvian coach really does this. He really shouts a lot. Or at least Italian, but he really shouts a lot at the team. But you can see he was telling them, be physical. Stop making prevent that entry pass, stop getting those easy entry passes into their bigs. And I thought it was a great adjustment by Latvia. They turned up the pressure on defense. I was telling you in the chat, no, they played a UP-like defense, just to put some UAP reference there. They played a lot like UP. In your face, just
pressure defense.
Pressure defense, gamble a lot on the passing lanes, and prevent the entry passes. I think that was the biggest adjustment that they made in that second quarter. In the triangle offense, you have to get some entry passes into your bigs or whoever's running from the post, or whether it be Junmar, Justin Brownlee, Kai Soto, they have to get some entry passes. And that was the adjustment that Latvia made in the second quarter. We're not gonna let you enter the post that easily. We're gonna gamble, we're gonna deny those entry passes. And that's what spurred their run in the second quarter. I think we had possessions where we had 2 straight turnovers or 3 straight turnovers that led to easy baskets for Latvia. So again, great adjustment by the Latvian coach. But as I've said, you play that type of defense, you toe that line between what's a foul and what's not. At some point, someone's gonna call, and I think that's where Latvia got caught, Maui. Medyo na-frustrate sila that they were getting called for fouls. And you play that physical defense, that UP type defense. There are times you're gonna get called for fouls, and they were. I think who was it who was called for an unsportsmanlike foul? I think it was
Bertans.
Si Bertans.
David Bertans.
And then I think Kuruts got called for technical foul for shouting at Chris Newsom's face when Chris Newsom gave him an elbow. So, I think for the most part, Latvia felt the pressure. And how can you not? You're in your home country, in front of thousands of your fans, and you're getting blown out by a team that's tiers below you in the FIBA rankings.
3 tiers I think below you. Diba? I think the Philippines is ranked 37 right now.
So they felt the pressure, and they showed that they were getting frustrated because they're playing physical, and yet the refs were not allowing them to play physical. Well, you could say they were holding, they were grabbing, they were bumping a lot. And in FIBA basketball, Maui, refs don't give a shit. These refs don't give a shit. They kicked out Luka Doncic in the World Cup during the quarterfinals.
I was watching that game. We were watching that game.
We were watching that. FIBA refs don't give a shit.
They threw me out in the third quarter.
Yep. There was no home cooking in this one because these were foreign refs. These were FIBA refs. They didn't care if this was a Latvian home crowd. They were going to call fouls. They were going to call technical fouls. They were going to call unsportsmanlike fouls if there was one. They were not going to pass up on. They weren't going to pass on anyone. And that carried over. I think throughout the whole game, the tight calls prevented them from playing that much of a physical defense. You saw the amount of fouls. You saw the amount of free throws that Gilas got. So I love the way that Gilas responded, especially that first 5. Ako talaga that first 5. As long as I know Justin Brownlee was the hero and he made the big shots, but that first 5 talaga carried that team. At isa pang na-notice ko, Maui, ewan ko kung napansin mo to nung fourth quarter, nung nag-run yung Latvia, nung walang nakakuha sa offense yung Gilas, I think we had 2 or 3 straight turnovers, missed shots, forced shots, because yung Latvia was denying everything. Coach Tim called the timeout. I think we were up by 10. And the adjustment that Coach Tim Cone made was, we're not gonna run any play.
Isolation.
We're just gonna inbound the ball to Justin Brownlee and just let him isolate.
2 straight plays. That was 2 straight plays. The jump shot, and I think that 4-point play.
Yeah. So that was 6 straight points by Justin Brownlee. Just for the adjustment by Tim Cone. Okay, they're denying all our actions. We're just gonna run one. We're gonna give it to Justin Brownlee, top of the key, and just isolate him. And it worked. It worked. Kudos to Justin Brownlee. Kudos to Justin Brownlee for hitting those two big shots. Momentum killer yun eh, Maui. I think that was the important point. I think that's the closest that Latvia got, di ba? Since the start of the second half. Sige, Maui, you were gonna say something.
Saka the person was guarding, the person was guarding Brownlee is an NBA caliber talent. I think si Giannis team was part of a G League team, Orlando, if I'm not mistaken, during this past season. Grabe, the adjustment was so basic, but it worked wonders. Grabe, when Brownlee hit that 4-point play, everyone was screaming their lungs out, I'm sure, at home. Twitter X was going crazy. Everyone was starting to feel that we could win. Diba? Kasi even if we were up double digits 4 minutes, it was still very tight in my opinion. It was we could have still lost that game, diba? With the shooting.
At nagkakalat ang Gilas noon, Maui. Yun yung nakakatakot.
Yes. Actually, during the fourth quarter, we had a lot of turnovers. I think more than 8 turnovers. There was a time that they flashed it, I think around 6 minutes or 7 minutes in the fourth quarter. We already had 6. And during that point, I think throughout the whole game, we only had 6 turnovers during the first 3 quarters. So we had 6 or 7 turnovers during that first 3 or 4 minutes. And actually, my cousins and we were having a watch party over Discord. We were all nervous, diba? It was looking like a meltdown about to happen. And we're not, this happened in the past. A ton of times, us having leads with European teams, us having leads with top tier teams. But the composure that Gilas showed, I really have to put my hats off to Chris Newsome. I did not expect him to be this good sa international stage. I was skeptical. Alam mo si Scottie Thompson, di ba? Scottie Thompson has been surprising since Coach Tim got the Gilas job. But si Chris Newsome, what the other thing that's good about Chris Newsome is he wasn't actually Gilas eligible, FIBA eligible during the start, di ba? He was only able to get an exception, di ba? If we can be able to get exceptions for the other players, that would be good. That would be best for the future. But si Chris Newsome, one big fight, Chris Newsome, the hustle, the energy, I think just setting the tone.
The breaking the press, Maui. I think that was the most impressive. Between Dwight Ramos and Chris Newsome, they were being pressed for, I think, 70 to 80% of this game. They were being pressured in the backcourt. For them not to turn it over or to break down in that pressure that Latvia was putting on them, that was pretty impressive. And they were playing a ton of minutes also. Mapapagod ka rin you facing that type of pressure. You said it, very impressive kay Chris Newsome. Just composure talaga. But I also want to point out, we mentioned this before we came on, Arthur Zagars, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Zagars, their main point guard, did not play a ton or did not play at all. I think it was mentioned that he was nursing a knee injury. And for those who watched Latvia in the World Cup, Zagars was the engine of this team.
Yeah.
He's the guy that sets up all their shooters who gets in the paint. He's the guy that runs everything, that creates a ton of offense for this Latvia team. And he wasn't there. And I think, again, may halong swerte. May halong swerte rin. Yung mga shots na namimik ni Dwight Ramos,
maybe they want to, yeah, grabe yung mga shots si Dwight Ramos, especially yung isang fall away that he banked in, di ba, nung game. Also, those contested 3-point shots, those were crazy. But yeah, Gab, I agree yung kay Arthur Zagars. He was actually one of the surprises ng World Cup, which is why Latvia really outperformed. I think that really got him in the radar. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to play. Maybe they decided to rest him since they were going up against the Philippines. They manhandled Georgia, diba? Just the day before. And maybe they underestimated what the Gilas Pilipinas could bring into the table. Remember, Latvia is actually the favorite in our group make it to the Olympics. Right now, we have that hope. I hope that what's important is we don't lose later by 18 points or more, diba, against Georgia. I think the possibility is we can win, diba? If we can beat Latvia, why can't we beat Georgia? So we just have to believe. We just have to continue supporting Gilas. We just have to trust that Coach Tim did his preparations also against Georgia, diba? They went into the game yesterday. I think I read an interview. They went into the game yesterday without the intention of actually winning, but with the intention of competing. Diba? I think that's all we can ask for. We could have asked for that, but we got a win. This is our first win again in 64 years. We waited 6 decades to beat a European team. It's crazy, diba? What can happen overnight to change the future of a program? Maybe this is our stepping stone to follow in the footsteps of Japan and start to really jumpstart our program into a better future. Gab.
And with that, we will take a break because we have another sponsor. And you know it by now. This episode is also brought to you by Hyped 24/7 Fitness. Feel the hype. All right. So, kung marami kayong adrenaline from that Gilas win,
saktong-sakto yung Hype Fitness.
Sakto.
The sponsor, the past 3 podcasts natin, all of the episodes are Hype. Diba? All of the episodes are emergency podcasts.
Oh. Sakto nga sila. Nakaswerte sila sa atin. Ang dami nilang episodes this week, di ba? So, kung may adrenaline pa kayo, mag-gym muna kayo sa Hype 24/7 Fitness. And then, watch the game later against Georgia. All right, Maui. So, we've talked a lot of our initial reactions. But, of course, there's no game that's perfect. I think we can both agree on that. So, ano yung mga nakita mo na not so good about Gilas or things to improve on for the game against Georgia later and perhaps further into the tournament? Go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, I'm very excited to see the game against Georgia because Georgia is actually a taller team than Latvia. They have a lot of big man. They have Goga Bitadze. They have Sandro from the Spurs also. I can't pronounce
Mamu Kalashvili.
So they have a lot of big man. It's gonna be very exciting to see what adjustments Coach Tim brings later. Will we still play that big lineup based on our tune-up games and the game against Latvia? It looks like we're gonna run that lineup the whole tournament. One of the things that we have to work on later is yung bench. I think Gab, you touched on that when we were discussing yung our initial thoughts. If we are to be successful in the tournament, we cannot just rely on our starting 5, diba? We have to find lineups that fit the bench. Maybe some of the guys from the starting 5 can mix and match well with the other guys from our bench. The drop off from Chris Newsome to CJ Perez was really shown. I think CJ Perez still did a good job being very aggressive, hitting some outside shots, some crazy shots. One of them was the buzzer beater during the first quarter. But I think in terms of like setting up our offense, in terms of like getting our offense ready, CJ Perez has to do a better job, or maybe Brownlee has to play with that lineup. The bench looked horrendous, diba? It looked horrendous. We were fortunate to be able to hang when the bench played because of a lot of premier shot making. The 3-pointers by CJ Perez, even a 3-pointer, a step back 3-pointer by Kevin Cambao probably kept us in the game despite the bench struggling. But watching the starting 5 and the second unit, it was really evident you drop off. They were not executing the right way. They were not executing probably to Coach Tim's liking. I would like to see more minutes from the starting 5. Maybe some of them spread out into the second unit. Maybe we can see Kai Soto and Brownlee get more minutes with the second unit. I think nung second quarter last night, Kai Soto had some minutes with the second unit. That was during the second quarter when it was not yet evident that our second unit was really struggling. maybe that's a matter of mixing and matching. I don't know if that will be the case. But again, for us to be successful today against Georgia, we have to hit our outside shots, diba? Gilas Pilipinas doesn't shoot a lot of 3-point shots, but we were able to make more than 40% of our 3-pointers from last night. I think that's a must, especially since our main strategy would still probably be to pound it in the paint, to create opportunities, scoring opportunities in the paint through passing lanes and through high-low plays from the big men. I would love to see another Kai Soto breakout game later, but I'm sure that Georgia's has heavily scouted Kai Soto and Brownlee for the game later. But I think it really boils down to us being able to bring that same intensity, us having that mentality of not lose, having that mentality right from the get-go to be aggressive and to bring it. I think what helped also last night was their mentality to just play hard, diba? Play hard. We didn't expect to win. We just want to compete. I hope they bring that later also against Georgia. And we have to of course yung adjustments that Via showed during the fourth quarter, that if you pressure us hard and if you pressure hard yung passing lanes natin, we struggle to get into the offense, and that led to a lot of turnovers. So maybe that's something that we can work on also for later. We did a good job, mind you, during the first 3 quarters. But unfortunately, in the fourth, as I mentioned, I think we had more turnovers in the fourth quarter than during the first 3 quarters. So yeah, basically a dream game by Gila. So not much for me to say in terms of like where we can do better, where we can actually improve on. It's really about them playing basically the same way. Starting the game the same way and executing the right way, similar to how they did during the first 2 quarters last night. Gab.
Yeah, you pretty much nailed it, Maui. I mentioned the bench. The bench was terrible. Ramdam yung absence is Scotty. I think we needed another guard. We needed a point guard in general, man. Chris Newsom was admirable to play that position and was playing pretty well. But I said, CJ Perez is not a point guard. We need another one who can play a point guard, and perhaps that has to be Scotty. This is the reason why I was perplexed that Coach Tim Cone did not fill the Scotty roster spot with another guard. I mean, we're in the Philippines, Coach. There are a ton of other guards available. But yeah, maybe because there's no one as familiar with the system as Scotty Thompson, and that's why he didn't want to get another person to try and preach the triangle too, no? Sabi nga yun ni SJ, no?
Sana si Teniente, tinawag na lang niya, no, Gab?
Si LA, actually, oo nga, no? Kahit matanda na.
Kasama naman si Junmar at Japet pa rin, di ba? Similar to the previous iterations.
Yeah. Baka nga pwede nga si LA na lang, oh. But yeah, the bench was terrible. Aside from CJ Perez, our young guys, KQ, Carl Tamayo, good grief. Come on, guys. Magpakita naman kayo yung ng konti. I thought Carl Tamayo had a few good plays, but when he was inserted in the second half, committed a ton of tough, really dumb fouls, and then that led to 4 free throws from Latvia. Committed a turnover. Carl, you gotta know how to make an entry pass, bro. Just, put it into his spot, into his pocket. Entry pass, simple. He couldn't do it, and very frustrating. And that led to, again, a ton of minutes by Kai and Junmar. He was the backup power forward, but yet it's kind of difficult. If Carl Tamayo is gonna play like that, it's kind of difficult to keep Kai and Junmar off the floor. Japet did his best. I mean, he's really old now. And I don't think you can expect Japet to be a defensive powerhouse or to have those athletic moments where he just posterizes people. He's not that player anymore. He's really old. He's a guy who is inserted to just give some good minutes to fill in for Kyan Junmar at this point in his career. He's not that guy anymore. And that's another thing that I noticed. We lack another big. I'm sorry to Japeth talaga. Well, I've said this before. We lack another big that's capable enough to give good bench production. Japeth is not that guy anymore.
Wala,
si
Injured
AJ
again.
Edu, perhaps someone else. Completely blanking of who's the other big men in the PBA.
Balti could have
Balti.
been an option.
Oh. Balti,
Hopefully in the
who
future.
could have been an option. Isaac Go has previous experience with Gilas as a stretch big probably, but we need someone else to play as a backup big. I love Japeth, of course, but he's old already. Other things, we have to have a backup action when we cannot get our primary action to work. Diba? As I said, when Latvia turned on the pressure, they were denying all the entry passes. They were denying every of the options for you from the triangle. And a lot of times, especially in the fourth quarter, kung panolan nyo yung fourth quarter, Dwight or Chris Newsom or Brownie were just forced to put up just Hail Mary shots because there was no other action to work with. There was no play because they were denying everything. That's why Coach Tim decided to go with a Justin Brownlee isolation just to simplify everything because our offense was stuck in the mud.
Parang Ateneo, bro.
Nothing.
Puro mga 24/7 shot clock, puro mga forced outside perimeter shots. But I agree, Gab. They have to have a counter action for later.
Yeah, so actually, it's a good thing you brought up Ateneo, Maui. Ateneo has this. When all of their actions are covered or are denied, they have they call this play elbow action, where it's just simply come out, let's run a pick and roll. I think Coach Tim can implement something similar when all other options are gone. Let's run a pick and roll. Let's run something. We cannot have possessions like that later against Georgia. We're gonna get killed. No, we can't turn the ball over and give Georgia some easy baskets. And as much as I love that the two big lineup, I think we have to adjust a little bit, and because hindi every game nasiswertehan tayo na Latvia will shoot that bad, or any team for that matter will shoot that bad. I love the flexibility of Coach Tim. When Kyan Junmar were in the game, they were playing drop coverage a ton of times. Nung sinap out si Kyan Junmar, or one of Kyan Junmar, biglang nag-switch. Suddenly, Gilas was switching every pick and roll, every dribble handoff. So, there is some flexibility. I love that Coach Tim Cone is adjusting based on his lineup. So, that's something to work on. And you mentioned it, Maui. Gilas has to hit their threes. How many threes yung did they hit a while ago? I think less than 10.
9. They were 9 for 20.
9, yeah, tama.
We don't shoot a lot.
Yeah, we don't shoot a lot. I mean, it's a triangle offense. The game plan was to pound it inside. So I get it that we don't shoot a lot. And we're not going to shoot a lot. But we still have to make them. And kudos to Gilas in this game. They made their 3-pointers.
Pati free throws, Gab.
Pati free throws. And that was a problem.
Yeah.
That was a problem for Gilas.
During our previous games, I think one of my cousins mentioned that we always have that problem in free throw shooting. And last night, everyone was shooting free throws well, diba? I think even yung sila Japeth was able to hit 2 of 2 dun sa fragrant foul. But this was basically a dream game. The dream start by Gilas. We led by 20 plus points against the number 16 in the league. One of the hottest teams in FIBA. Diba? Latvia wasn't always number 6. They just rose up the rank the past few months, the past year. Even without Porzingis, diba? Kasi people are saying wala si Porzingis. It's one of the reasons kung bakit this is not really the number 6 team. the number 6 team is actually the team without Porzingis, di ba? They did a pretty good job nung World Cup. They surprised everyone nung World Cup. They beat Georgia by 30 plus points during the first game. So they were not empty-handed, di ba? This is a very good team. I think one of the things that I saw that was very interesting also, I have to shout this out lang, is si Kinito Henson tweeted this. Si Nenad Vucevic apparently messaged him, and they said that si Coach Luka of Latvia is actually one of the best tacticians in the world as a coach, di ba? So Coach Tim Cone, kudos to Coach Tim Cone. What a domination, he really had the keys to the game last night. I hope that we have that same type of energy against Georgia later. I don't want to get a heartbreak kasi di ba, Gab, we finally get that glimmer of hope, di ba? That glimmer of hope that we can move upwards, di ba? I think that's something that we've lacked for Gilas since we initially qualified to the World Cup during the first iteration of Coach Chot's World Cup team, di ba? I think that's something that we've been missing, hope, and we finally got that hope, that win, that glimmer of potential good future. Kasi before, it was heartbreak after heartbreak after heartbreak. We were just getting by. So I hope we have a good game later. I hope that we can win the game later. Diba? Getting that momentum before the one game elimination round would be crucial. I'm excited. I'm hyped. As our sponsor I'm hyped for later. I'm actually very impressed kay Kai Soto. Again, I have to say lang. I think this is the type of Kai Soto that could potentially go to the NBA if he continues to improve. He's still young. He's only 21. So maybe if he can still continue to improve, if he has a good game against Goga Bitadze later, then maybe the sky's the limit. Gab.
And just one last note before we go. I love that in the coverage they were showing the timeouts and the full speeches of the coaches. I don't know, Maui, if narinig mo lahat ng pagsisigaw ni Coach Luka ng Latvia and ni Coach Tim Cone. But I love hearing it. It's just added dimension to the intensity of a game. If you hear Coach Tim Cone, and he's really holding everyone accountable. You did not. I think he was telling Chris Newsom, you're peeling back too much. Don't give up that easy on a pick. Humabol ka. Or he didn't speak in Tagalog, but you better catch up. He was telling Kai Soto, you were supposed to rotate there. Where were you? So he holds his players accountable. I mean, he's coached them. He has the respect of every Filipino basketball player because he's the winningest coach in the PBA. You cannot not listen to Coach Tim. So that's it. I love the production, the production value of the Pilipinas live coverage and the FIBA coverage.
Sayang di si Josh Bet. Kung si Josh Bet yun, that would be a lot crazy. Diba, that guy, I love that commentator.
Yep, I do too. And hopefully we get some Josh Bet later. And that's it for our show this morning. Oh, nag-morning tayo. As usual, guys, share, like, and subscribe the podcast. This has been our third emergency podcast this week. We're tired, but still, we love talking about basketball.
Mamaya ulit, pag nanalo Georgia. Pag nanalo tayo against Georgia.
Maui, kung manalo tayo against Georgia, we're coming on. We're coming on.
Back. Yeah.
All right. See you guys. Bye-bye.